Good day, fellow gamers and non-gamers. This is Drist playing Shroud of the Avatar, spiritual successor to Ultima Online. And today, this is going to be a tutorial video inspired by fellow Avatar Khan from the forums. His name is spelled Khan. And in the forums, he has a couple questions. So I'm going to see about addressing those questions. So let's read his questions real quick. He says, crafting shows blacksmithing, tailoring, carpentry, cooking, and alchemy. Yet I read the posts and people are enchanting, black butchery, jewel crafting. Help! I was going to be a simple tailor. That's it. I wanted to make my own cloth armor. As I started to look into it, there are like a dozen types: augmented, epic, fortified, etc. Plus, to level necromancy, very, very overwhelming. Most of the tips here tell us to go to sotacraft.com, but my work blocks that site, so that's a no-go. All I know is I am to turn off my gathering skills, go gather, do that until I have 4 million experience in crafting pool, then salvage all the cloth goods until I get to 100. So it looks like he has some questions about tailoring there, and we're going to address those questions. And also a couple more questions. He says, an icon showed up yesterday that my weapon needed repair. I bought a repair kit and durability went to full, but the icon remained. And then his question was, bugged? Possibly, but we'll talk about the durability thing as well. And then he says, I should make sense to put A on all skills that I am not using, right? Like, I am currently not using obsidian arrow, so I should put A by it. What difference between and maintaining? And so we'll talk about the maintaining versus training stuff. And then his other question, the last one, is there a death penalty? If I die, have I been losing my XP pool? The answer is yes, and probably yes, but that's not a bad thing. So we'll talk about all those. His name is fellow Avatar Khan. We'll address all those. And right now we are in Owl's Head, because we're going to talk about the crafting stuff first. It sounds like he wants to be a tailor. So I'm going to show you where you can get all the tailoring recipes your hearts could be desired. And that would be in Owl's Head. So I'm at the entrance to Owl's Head here, and all you do is run up past these wagons here, and past all these player vendors and stuff, and past the little kitty there, and look at all these skeletons. There are a ton of skeletons laying around. I wonder if there was a battle fought here, a hard fought battle, maybe a PvP engagement or something. I don't know. Somebody died. And then of course you run up past this bridge here. And there are some sheep up here, which feel free to kill the sheep. Sorry, I wanted to kill the sheep. Kill the sheep! Kill it! Oh, come on! Kill the sheep. A little closer. Oh, come on! Oh, I'm missing. Yeah, there you are. You're mine. Woo! And you're dead. So we killed all the sheep. We've had our fun. Let's continue on. So past the bridge, past the now dead sheep. And right here, up there is the crafting pavilion, and the public vendors right there. So on this building to our left is actually the general crafting supplies. So we're going to go in here, and you see 3 vendors, 2 there and 1 there. These vendors have an extensive supply of excuse me, an extensive supply of various recipes that you could possibly need in this game. And our man for tailoring is going to be Harold here, Harold our man, and let's talk to him real quick. And as you can see, he has all kinds of tailoring cloth recipes, the augmented cloth leggings outfits, and the books and bedrolls and the bear hats, and you name it, the unique types of cloth and bone stuff. And he has a ton of recipes here. Rope, dyes. There's your epic cloth stuff. merchant, whatnot. So Harold is our man for tailoring, and hit him up. And like I said, you can buy a ton of recipes that you need for tailoring from him. As far as all the accessory recipes for the stuff, components needed. So Harold's our man, and also the leather stuff as well. So, and like I said, this was in Owl's Head, and I just showed you how to get to him. This guy has a fair amount of recipes for some, agates and whatnot, some blacksmithing, not the full spectrum of blacksmithing stuff. There's actually a vendor. There's several vendors out there to get the extensive supply of blacksmithing recipes. One is actually in Brittany Wharfs, and I have a video that shows how to get to him. But he has some stuff here, some housing stuff you can hit him up for and whatnot. So good source of recipes there. And then this guy over here has to do with a lot of cooking and whatnot. Cooking, and those are alchemy, the jewels and the gems and stuff. There's our cooking stuff. So yeah, three main vendors in Owl's Head are the primary ones that you can get a ton of recipes. So like I said, come to Owl's Head, check them out, see what you can get. And also, as far as tailoring goes, my recommendation for how to properly level tailoring and the masterworking, and then of course enchanting is a whole another thing under alchemy, but let's focus just on here. What I'd recommend to do is work on this one first. This is the production skill, which means that the higher level you have here, the greater chance of success when you're crafting an item, plus the greater chance of success for a +1 item, which is a +1 is an item that has a bonus to durability right from the start. Which what that means is that gives you an added durability bonus that when you start masterworking it, you have some durability to take away from it before you actually tackle its actual base durability as well. So that's a very, very big thing to do. And the way I approach the tailoring, and as you can see, I grandmastered this. I actually have some property, and I don't know if you have property out there, but if you do, I mean, grow ton of cotton. I mean, plant cotton left and right and grow that shit, and then take that cotton to a tailoring or to a textiles station and convert it into the stuff you need for your recipes. And then what I did is the recipe I focused on, I wanted to have the least resource intensive recipe I could find, because I wanted to hammer out a ton of them as quickly as I could, which would allow me to really level up that skill. And the item that I chose I'll show you what I chose. Where are you? Oh, there we go. Missed it. I chose this little bugger, cloth boots. And as you can see, cloth boots are the only cloth armor piece I really have, because I'm not wearing cloth armor. I have I wore epic stuff and then some augmented stuff, but I do have the cloth boots here, and all you have to do to craft one of these is get 2 bolts of cloth. And I was able with the cotton I was growing, I could make a ton of bolts of cloth and just hammer out these little boots here. And so I made a ton of those, and it allowed me to grandmaster that tailoring pretty quickly. And then hint number 2, all those pieces of armor that you make as you're leveling your leveling your tailoring, hang on to them. I'm gonna tell you why. Don't sell them. Don't try to do anything with them. Hang on to them, because guess what? What you need to do to level your masterworking here, you need to take a piece of armor and then take your silver agates that you've gotten from either buying the silver and converting to agates or actual mining, which I do, and then you masterwork those items that you've crafted. And the more you masterwork those items with this is how you level this up. So if you already have a ton of these, for example, cloth boots that you've crafted to get this up to Grandmaster, you have a ton of these already, step 1 is complete. Next, step 2 is to go out and get those silver, whether you want to buy the silver or you want to actually mine it. For me, I mined it. because by mining, I'm actually growing my pool here, which gives me a pool of experience that I can dump into here. So you have these now because you've been crafting all these to get this up to Grandmaster. So now you go out and you mine a ton to get thousands, 2,000, 3,000 chunks of ore to come back to a station to convert to the silver ingots. And now you have a ton of silver ingots, plus you already have your boots that you crafted before. So you can sit down at a station and start masterworking them. And hint number 2, all the plus ones you got from here, well, disregard, because we are talking about cloth boots. Now, what I also did is I actually did a lot of epic cloth gloves. And what I've done, I hung on to those plus ones that I got from the epic cloth gloves because I wanted to actually masterwork those once I had this up a little bit and possibly use them and sell them. So if you actually have some, if you focus on the epic cloth gloves and you get a lot of plus ones, hang on to those. Don't use those to level this. Hang on to those and maybe you can make some money off that. So that was my approach. And as you can see, I have Grandmaster Tailoring. I'm working on that. And now I've actually redirected my efforts because I actually want to work on chainmail here. So I GM'd that pretty quick. And now I GM'd blacksmithing. And now I'm working on this one here. So yeah, that's my current plan. But that's what I did for it. I hope that answers your question, Con. As far as the recipes, where you can get them, a good strategy to approach your training when it comes to... even if you don't have property, go out. There's lots of cotton you can find, and you can use that gathering of the cotton to gain the experience that you can later dump into it. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Now, he has some other questions about durability, so let's address that real quick. So each piece of item has a set durability, and that durability is dependent upon the whether it was a plus one or not, how much it was masterworked / enchanted, whatnot. And you see my katana here initially had a max of 110. My current max durability is 109 because I've been using it, and my current durability itself on the weapon is 98. So obviously, as you use an item, or as a piece of armor gets hit or shield gets hit, it loses durability. And at some point, you're going to have to repair it, or it's going to break on you. And there's 3 ways you can repair. And the first one is the more common one for me. I have a ton of repair kits that I'm running around with, because when I'm out adventuring and stuff, I don't want to have to come back and repair something, so I carry these with me. And say I'm in the field, and let's say this katana got down to its 5 durability and it's yellow, and I have my symbol up here telling me my thing's about to break. All I do is I drag my repair kit onto the said item, and then this little thing pops up. Would you like to use the repair kit? Blah, 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 blah. In which case I'd hit a repair, and it will repair back a percentage of those durability. It won't do it all unless your max durability is so low, then maybe it will actually repair them all. But if you have a pretty high durability, it won't give them all back. But, it gives enough that the symbol up here can disappear and you go proceed with your adventure and stuff. So that's the first way of doing it. And now I'm going to recall back to my place real quick. And we'll talk about the other 2 ways to repair an item. And I'm recalling back to Bay Lunaire, which is my home and the home of the Lunar Dragons. And if you're looking for a fantastic guild to be a part of, Lunar Dragons is it. We are one of the biggest guilds in this game, and we are continuing to grow. We have 3 player-owned towns that I'm aware of. Bay Lunaire, which is the home of our guild house, Crossroads, and Valhalla. And there's tons of open slots available. So if you have deeds, player-owned, and you need a spot to put up those deeds, and you want a guild, we have tons of open space available from my understanding the last time I checked. And here we are, back in my esteemed humble abode. What was that? And let's go inside. We're going to go up to my crafting station, and I can show you the other 2 techniques for repairing an item. This is actually a wizard tower, one of my favorite houses in the game. So here we are. And we'll go to a blacksmithing station because I'm using a sword. So we showed you the first way of repairing it from the field, simply dragging a repair kit onto the item. And now we will show you the other two. And if you look under your recipes here, it's under repair and salvage. We have a minor repair and a major repair. And the minor repair, you need the item, drag the item into here, and then you need a repair kit, drag the repair kit into here, and hit repair, and it will repair back a percentage of the, I would say a percentage, it will repair back an amount of that durability back to the item. And I want to say the amount that it repairs is dependent upon this skill right here, which I currently have to level 1, which is not beneficial for me. I really need to put some experience there, but as you can see, I've been dedicating so hard up here. I didn't want to give up any of my experience to this. So I wouldn't recommend going that way. Put some experience here if you're going to have to repair a lot, and that will increase the amount of repairs by. And the other way to repair an item is right here, a major repair. So you take the worn item, throw it here, take a crown of the obsidian, throw it there, and that's a major repair. And I want to say it will actually repair it completely to full. And a lot of people did this one for a while, but they actually made a change to the game that doesn't make this a longer term viable option necessarily, because what happens is every time you repair an item, its max durability now goes down. And the reason they did that, and it will actually continue to go down until such time as you probably be beneficial to just buy a new sword or buy a new armor set or something. And the reason they did that is because people had these plus 10s and plus 11 whatever armor sets and swords and whatnot, and they're running around killing stuff and everything, and they never ever bought new gear, and they never had to. All they had to do was take their item when it broke and use a crown of the obsidian, and voila, they had a brand new sword all ready to go, and they never had to buy anybody's swords or anybody's armor sets, so the market was stagnant. One of the many reasons I'm sure the market was stagnant, but they changed that so that people would be having to go buy new swords and having to buy new armor. They couldn't just take one set of armor and run with it forever. So I think that's a good thing, and I've actually had to do that once or twice myself, where a piece of gear got so low in durability that I just scrapped it and bought a new one or made a new one. So I hope that answers your question as far as durability and repairing goes, Con. And as far as your other question, let's open that up here. Is there a death penalty? Oh, wait. There's another question here. Let's talk about the maintaining versus not maintaining. So right up here, and this actually will play right into the is there a death penalty question too. We'll lump these two into one. And this death penalty applies only to the adventure side of things for now. But in time, it will actually apply over here too. They just haven't fully implemented that part yet. So for me personally, I run as if it applies to both, and I operate as if it's going to directly affect both of them. And what that means is, for example, here, this item, if you look up at the top of all your items, there's these little symbols here. And right now, this one says set. This one's saying maintain. In fact, all these are saying maintain. And what that means is that if I die, this item, this ability will maintain its current level and experience points gained. It will not budge one way or the other. It's going to stay that way. This one icon means it's training, which means if I use it or whatever the requirement is to gain levels here, if that happens, this will go up if that's set to green. This one means it'll quickly lose experience. A portion of the lost experience will be used to replenish your experience pool. I imagine that will apply if you decide you're not wanting any of these anymore and you want to kind of take that experience pool, dump it back into here and apply it somewhere else. I personally have not found a use for that myself, but that's what that's for. And then this one, nothing will happen. No experience gain, none lost. I mean, it's just going to sit here. I would never ever have a skill on this one ever. If it's a skill that's going to be used at any level, it should, in my opinion, be set to maintain or to train. If you're not training it, it should be set to maintain. In fact, to me personally, these are the only two viable options you should have: training or maintaining. That's it. And now, as far as death penalty goes, whenever you die, there is a penalty for that dying. That dying is a experience. And that first place that death penalty will go for the experience is the skills. And if a skill is not set to maintain, if it's set to, like, for example, here, it's not set to maintain, and now you die, that experience, the penalty will target that skill. It'll take experience away from that skill, and possibly you will lose a level here. And that's why when you're not training those skills, you need to keep them set to maintain. Because what will happen then is that you die, and that penalty is looking for somewhere to take the experience from. And since all of your skills are set to maintain, that target will become the pool here. That penalty will go drag the experience from the pool here. And the reason we want that to happen is that it's easier to replenish this pool than it is to replenish your skills here. So when that penalty happens from die-in, we want it to hit this, not this. And also, that pool, how much of experience it penalizes you from, is dependent upon how long it's been since you've died. If you've gone 2 weeks without dying because you're a badass, and all of a sudden you do something stupid and you die, that penalty will be much larger than if, let's say, you're running around dying 5 times a day, and today you've died 4 times already and this is your 5th time. You're probably not going to feel that penalty as much then. Whereas if you hadn't died forever and all of a sudden you died, you definitely have a much bigger penalty. So I hope that answers your question, Con, and anybody else that might be listening. So this episode was inspired by fellow Avatar Con from the forums and some questions he had, and I hope I gave you some good answers for those. So this was Drist playing Shroud of the Avatar, and like I said, before I go, don't forget to subscribe. There should be a link right above there in the picture, right above there, my picture. And also, if you look in the description, there are some links there, some affiliate links. One is to Marky Dragon game codes. So if this looks like a game you would like to play and you're currently not playing it, click the link, check out his site. He is an authorized reseller of this game, so get involved in it. And also there's some other affiliate links for some of the equipment I use, which I am very, very, very pleased with. So I thought I'd share that with you folks as well. So click those links, check those out. And until next time, don't forget to subscribe and comment in the comments section, and stay safe.